Mondays. This is Lynn Schrader with KHI, of course, and I have our guest with us today, Darcy Swan, who's our Director of Marketing. And Darcy's going to be going over some changes and some enhancements to our website, and so I think, and many other things, by the way, to help you grow your agency. So with that, and I will just let you know, Darcy's been struggling a little bit with a cold, so she's going to do the best she can, and I'll jump in where I need to. So we'll go through your presentation, Darcy, and then we'll follow up with some questions at the end, and I'll take it back over again. So go ahead.
All right. Oops. Well, thank you, Lynn, very much. I hope you guys can bear with me here. Welcome, as Lynn said, to the inaugural Marketing Monday. And this webinar series actually came out of the needs that you guys have expressed to either the KHI team, to me, or to Lynn about some things that you were wanting to see. And so today we're going to talk about the format for these programs going forward. We're going to talk, give you a tour of some of the updates to the website, and then talk about some other things and get some feedback from you as well. So you can go ahead and mark on your calendars. The third Monday of every month will be our Marketing Mondays. They will run, they'll start at noon and run for no longer than an hour. Some of them may only take a half hour, some of them may take the full hour, but we're going to go ahead and book the hour. And so you can go ahead and get those on your calendar. A couple of the ones that we have upcoming in the future, in May, we're going to talk about the power of a professional website, and we're going to welcome Catherine Towner from Win Communications to join us here. We have a partner program with Win Communications on a website, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, but Catherine's also going to go, Catherine's also going to go into, hold on a second here. Oh, shoot. This one here. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Technology is great, isn't it? Catherine's going to talk about why you should have a professional website, some tips that you can implement to improve your current site, and then as well go over the partner program we have with her on helping you get a professional website through KHI. In June, and I'm very excited about this one, we're going to talk about social media, something I'm very passionate about. We're going to do a 30,000-foot overview on who's using social media and what channels they're on. As you know, social media is a very vast kind of black hole for some people. So we're going to talk about Facebook. We're going to talk about LinkedIn. We're going to talk about Twitter. We're going to talk about some other channels that you may not be familiar with, and give a demographic profile so you know who's on those channels and maybe how you could start implementing them into your communication program. And then in July, we're going to welcome Diane Hall with Promotions Plus. And Diane is going to talk about promotional merchandise. You know, we all think of those trinkets as quote-unquote trinkets and trash, but they are very effective for helping you brand and market your business, and very cost-effective as well. So Diane's got some very interesting statistics to talk about promotional merchandise, and some tips and some questions to ask yourself on how to make sure that you're using the right type of merchandise for your business. So a little bit of a preview of what we have coming up May, June, and July. We're also working on a schedule for the latter half of the year, and I'll share more of that next month so that you can mark your calendars down, and we'll go from there. So what I'd like to do now is we are going to jump out onto our website, and I know many of you have been out on the site to gather information. Here we go again. Hold on. Okay. All right, so there's our website homepage, and if you haven't been out in a while, you've probably noticed that we've made some changes. And a couple of things that I want to make sure that you are aware of is this nice header graphic right here. We are going to start implementing or using that to share information that is going to be of importance, such as when the offices are closed, other types of new program launches and things like that. So you'll want to be paying attention to what we have going on here. There'll be 3 screens that you'll want to look at that will rotate through. That'll be important for you to see. You've also noticed that we've cleaned it up. We've got a nice clean home page. We've got some quick links down here to the calendar of events. to the What's New, which is under the News section, and Marketing Solutions, and we'll talk more about that here in just a minute. One of the things that Lynn and I have been working on is really streamlining the navigation of the site and making sure that we have the information that you need and have it in an area that would make sense for you to go find it there. So I'm just going to take a few minutes and do a walkthrough and show you some of the brand new things that we've done, as well as some of the reorganization of content that's been there for a while. So we're going to start off with the carriers section. And if you'll notice, we still have the common carrier links and forms. This section here has been broken down into individual solutions, Medicare solutions, and group solutions. So when you click on the area of interest, you'll be able to go in and see the common carriers and have a direct link out to their site where there'll be information and it directly relates you out to their website. So again, we have individual, Medicare, and group solutions.
And actually, if I could add that what we've done is on some of those sections, we've actually put the forms right here on our site. So you're not getting even sent out to the carrier site. You can have those links because sometimes, for example, with Wellmark, you need to access Q. So we've got a link that will take you to Wellmark's site, but we've also got the most commonly used forms in any of these areas so that you don't have to remember to go to other carrier sites to get it. Most of the main stuff that you're going to need is going to be right here, embedded right in our site.
Excellent. We're going to let Lynn jump in because I know she's got a lot of great feedback too because she's been working with me on the website revisions here. So that's what you'll find underneath carriers. And again, like Lynn mentioned, we're just going to keep adding content. So as new forms come available and new partnerships, we'll be getting that information added out under the carrier section. This resource section has taken a major overhaul, and we have just launched this training section. And I know many of you, if you can't make it to a webinar, or maybe you've been to a webinar and you want to go back and refresh your memory of the information, you had to go look for the video, and you had to go look for a PowerPoint, and it was really cumbersome. And what we've done is streamline that and put it all underneath this training site. And you'll notice that we've got it broken down into the different carriers as well as topics. You'll see after today, the Marketing Mondays will be added to this section as well. So we'll get the webinar out there for those that couldn't join us today, along with a PowerPoint. But we've broken it down. So healthcare reform, if you're not able to make the call now, we've got a very nice and clean streamlined section here. And you'll notice that what we've done is, in addition to the PowerPoint, or the video, I'm sorry, the webinar, is we've added the PowerPoint. So they're now both together. So if you want to watch the webinar, you can click it on. If you want a PDF version of the presentation, you can click it, and it's right there. The latest ones will always be at the top, so you don't have to scroll through and try and find what you missed. They'll be right there. We've also got them broken down here by the different presenters that we have coming in. So like Advantage administrators have given a product training back in March. If you weren't able to make that one, you can watch the webinar and review the presentation just by going out to the website. And not everything we do is related directly to a carrier and their product line. We also have other things that are such as motivational training. So we've got one on motivation and inspiration. So anything that we do that falls underneath this, we will add out to the site, and you'll be able to go and review that as well. So we hope that'll help it be easier for you to go back and watch the webinars that you weren't able to be on, and also be able to go back and refresh your memory and be able to quickly get that information.
I'd like to share, too, that for some of you agents that have staff or admin support, especially like the Coventry one that we did, and we did how to quote individual policies with Coventry, and then we did one also on group products. So the individual products, though, to be able to review what the products are, review the network. John Anderson did a nice job on that one. Now, one of the things that we haven't done yet, but if you're not contracted with one of the carriers that we're showcasing on our site, then talk to Nicole. Now, she's actually on vacation this week, but you can talk to one of our staff about getting contracted, and Nicole will get you the paperwork and coordinate all of that. If you've done business with another GA or direct with Coventry or UHC, for example, and you want to look to bring that appointment over to KHI, Nicole can help you do that. But what you're going to find is if you're not with us on a carrier and you're direct, for example, you won't get access to that folder. You might get an error message. So don't be surprised because what we're trying to do now is really provide the content for those that are contracted with us, and that kind of makes sense, I think. So we'd love to have you with us, and that's probably going to be one of our big efforts this year is to make sure that you know, if you're not contracted with us, we'd love for you to get contracted with us. And some of the content may be limited on our site if you don't carry a contract through KHI. So, but yeah, like Darcy said, we'll be adding more and more. You've probably seen the emails coming through. This summer, we're really going to ramp up our training efforts and have everything out here that we can so that come this fall when everything starts to hit the fan, you'll be able to go back to the website. And
Lynn means that in a very good way, I do believe, when things start hitting the fan. Yeah. So that's our training section, and like we both said, we'll be adding more and more content. So make sure you check back and look at this area. And training for your staff, as Lynn recommended too, this is going to be a great resource we feel for you and your agent team. Agent information. Under this section, we have our Agent Advisory Council members. So there's information on the Agent Advisory Council, but we also have the member list. So if you need to get a hold of one of them, or you want to share some information or talk to one of them about maybe how they're doing something in their business, all their contact information is right out there, along with a photo, so you can put a friendly face with a name there.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, Darcy, because the Agent Advisory Council, they are so open to share and to help all KHI agents grow their businesses. And they're also kind of that liaison to KHI, so you're always welcome to give us feedback directly, but maybe you want to bounce that off of one of the agents on the Agent Advisory Council with some of your thoughts and ideas and before you bring it to us. Either way. So we just had a meeting last week with them, and thanks for bringing that up, Darcy.
So we also, under agent information, have licensing information. And here we've just made it very easy for you to be able to look up your license, be able to print a copy, check how many continuing ed credits you have, so you can always make sure that you're up to date and don't let that lapse. So that's underneath the resources, agent information. And then we have agent testimonials. And we're going to be doing more with this as we go forward. But these testimonials, I think, are great for you to share with your staff if you have some new agents coming on in your agency and you want to share a little bit about KHI. One thing to note with these testimonials are these have been not edited. These were not scripted. So we didn't cut out the bad parts and leave only the good things. These are the full picture from these agents, and they volunteered to share their thoughts on why they chose to partner with KHI Solutions. And as I mentioned, we've got these on the website, but we've used them in social media on our LinkedIn page as well. But feel free to sit and go through them. They're all very short. We've kept them short so that you would watch them. And who knows, maybe calling you next to get your take and be able to get a video testimonial from you as well. So,
I was just going to say, if either or any of you, I should say, have interest in serving on our Agent Advisory Council, as Darcy said, you can read what we're looking for, what the criteria is, and how often we meet, or you're interested in doing a testimonial for KHI, just let one of us know. We'd appreciate it, and yeah, always looking for some new blood and some new feedback. So thanks.
We also have incentives. So if you're wondering what are the current incentives going on right now through KHI and their carrier partners, we've got those listed out here as well, and you can click for more information to get the details regarding that. And the big area that we've done some cleanup in is the healthcare reform. We've got, and we're going to do a little bit more in here too to streamline it to make it even easier, but this section is very robust. We've got all these links to make sure that you're staying up to date on all of the changes and the deadlines and all of that. We've got documents here. We've got the forms that you need. We also have the marketplace calculator as well to help you go through and do the calculations. We've embedded that into the site here. So be sure and check out this section as well. And when we have major updates, we'll make sure that we note that in the home page and that rotating imagery there, so you know that there's something that you need to be going to look at as well as through communication. So then we've got our Agent Solutions section, and this is relatively new. It's only been there, I think, for the last maybe 2 months. We've done some overhaul on this. And what we did here is we put together information to help you run your business more effectively. So it's maybe not full of content to help you stay up to date on deadlines and regulations, but it's more about helping you with the programs and marketing, and your focus needs to be on your clients' needs. And so we're providing you with some additional tools and resources to help you run your business, so to speak, and market. So under Agent Solutions, we have Marketing Solutions. This section here has only been up for probably about 6 weeks at best. We had feedback. After one of the webinar calls, we asked, what do you want to see? And one of the #1 things is help us with our marketing materials. So we sat down and went through some things that KHI has and put it out here on the website for you to use. And this section will be more robust as we go forward, so this will be an area that will constantly be evolving. But for instance, under Turning 65, we have a generic letter that you can download and input your information. We have a well-marked letter where you can go into the gray fielded areas and be able to input what you need. We have a copy of a well-marked postcard you can download, and we'll be adding a generic birthday card as well, and that'll be done by the end of the month, so that you can go and utilize that through a Vistaprint, through a local printer. If you've got a nice printer in your office, you may be able to utilize that as well. But we're trying to make it easy for you to stay focused on providing your clients with the needs that they have, and helping you be able to market your business at the same time. Open enrollment, we've got a couple of letters here. We have a client letter and a generic letter, and those would be geared towards the individual. We have the annual election period, generic letter, and then some things that you can use year-round. And right now, we just have the preferred pricing letter. Again, this is a well-marked piece that we've embedded in our site, and you will have to go in and click on the gray areas to add your custom information, so you won't be able to tweak it as much as maybe some of the other materials. But at least it'll give you a great place to go and have everything in one section. So, and like I said, we're going to be adding a lot more information underneath the campaigns. We also have website development, and as I mentioned, this will be our topic in May with Catherine Towner. We have a program that we've been running for a while that I'm not really sure very many people know about. If I can get it to pull up here, we go. And this is a program that KHI has put together to help those agents who do not have a website, a professional website today, to make it affordable for you to have a presence on the web. We know that folks aren't going to the phone book anymore to look for services. They go online. And it's really important that you have a presence, even if it's what we call a business card site, where they can get your contact information, a general idea about what you do, and location, just brief information. So we want them to pick up the phone and call you. But if they're out looking for your services and you're not there, they're going to go to the guy down the street. And so we need to make sure that you have a presence. So this program has been developed to help you do that. And so the information is all out here for this program.
Darcy, one other thing I just want to add is go to a search engine, I'll just use Google as an example, and type in your name and see what comes up. Because I did have one agent, we were kind of talking about this, and he says, well, I come up under, and there's a couple other, whether it was a Yellow Page ad online or a couple other places, but they might just give some information, but if they're not linking to a web page, your web page where you can control that content, sometimes you're at the mercy of some other directory that may or may not also take reviews. So anyway, and I'm sure some of this we're going to get into in future Marketing Monday conference calls around whether it was social media or what's your presence like online and out there on the internet. So, yep.
Excellent. And then we've got our promotional merchandise program, and as I mentioned, it's always good to do a review of your site from time to time as well. Let's see here.
That might just be a link that didn't get updated, so we'll look into that.
Yeah, I need to go back to our bear with me just 1 minute here. Okay. We bumped out to a different site. I'm going to go back to our agent site. Sorry about that. There we go. All right. And so those are the items that you'll find underneath the marketing solutions. And then we've got information on the Wellness Solutions program. We've just updated this information as well. This is a nice additional added value program that you can offer to your clients. And Lynn knows a lot about this program, probably more so than anybody here at KHI. So if you want more information regarding Wellness Solutions, just give Lynn a call and she can talk to you about the value that it can bring to the right client for you. So
we know, I'll just add, we know that many places are offering wellness portals, and some of them are through the carriers, some are through actual providers, like Mercy might have one or Unity Point might have one. And what we've heard from some employers is, I don't want to be committed to one carrier or one provider, especially if they change from year to year. They would like some consistency. So if somebody has expressed interest in a wellness portal that's really what I'll call focused on nothing but wellness, and they don't want to be tied to a carrier or to a provider, this might be the solution for them. So yeah, if you have any interest in that, just give me a shout.
And this is, like I said earlier, a section that we're going to be adding a lot more content to as we go forward based off of your feedback.
Well, and the government. Hopefully, we have still not heard around tax subsidies to support employer groups offering this and getting some help from that. So hopefully we'll hear more from Washington, D.C. about either guidance from CMS or additional legislation to give more tax credit to those employer groups who are trying to do something about this, especially, you guys, especially if small group definition does go to 100 in 2016, you're going to have all these groups that are going to have member level rating up to 100, right? And where's their ability to impact those rates? Unless you look at some kind of a self-funded or partially self-funded plan. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of watch and see what happens. So probably not a lot of buzz right now. I'm hearing with with wellness sites, but I think it's going to pick up from what I can tell.
And then we have the HR solutions, and this has been a section that's been on our site for quite a while, and this is our online human resources library. We've got the login, and we really haven't done much here, but just made sure that we put it underneath the agent solutions. And then we have another program, and you probably haven't heard much about this one either, and it's the Funeral Advocacy Solutions Program. And this is a true added value. Probably won't have a high demand for it, but you never know. When you're working with a client, this could be a great solution to a need that they have. And so we've got a program in place, and if you want more information on this program too, just get a hold of Lynn and she can fill you in on the details of it. But here's a nice little overview of it so that you can have an idea of what is available.
Yeah, and another comment, we've got a partnership going with a gentleman down in Kansas City, and then we've got rights to his resources and training and whatnot on how this program really works. So in a nutshell, think of it more like a meeting planner. So it's not all about, you might sell life insurance in your practice, and that's great, or final expense plans. That's not what this is. Think of it literally as a meeting planner, but you're planning a funeral. Instead of planning a wedding or planning a graduation, it's really planning a funeral. It can be done right as needed, or it can be done ahead of time. And this is really, I think this is an up and coming. We've had it, talked about it, and I've had access to him for a while, our contact. And so this might be something that, again, not probably a huge demand right now, but I think more and more people are considering this, especially as more and more baby boomers age, and parents and children are no longer located in the same areas, and it's just really unique circumstances why people might need this. And if you sell life insurance today or do financial plans, I think you need to be looking at something like this, because it's just that next step in terms of providing that level of service to your client. So yeah, if you have interest in that, just give me a holler.
All right, so we go to our news section, and we really haven't done much here to change things. This section is full of latest information on what educational opportunities there are for you. Here we have the version of the webinar invite that went out.
The thing if I could interject, the thing I like about this site, you guys, is if you miss our emails, because I get it, email boxes are out of control, the number of emails we get. if you didn't get a chance to take a look at an email that we got, just once a week maybe, pop onto our site and take a look. It'll go in order of when they were sent, but if you'll notice on the right-hand side, you can also look and say, I know it was something from Blue Cross. I talked to Lynn, and Lynn said, did you get that email? I talked to Lindsay, or I talked to Tricia or Nikia, and they said, check the email that we sent out, and it was a well-marked this, or a Coventry that, or a training whatever, so, or a health reform. So you can see how we've got them separated out into categories so that you can easily search to find what you're looking for and not have to worry about going back and piling through all your emails. And by the way, at our Agent Advisory Council meeting this last week, we did ask our Agent Advisory Council about how do we communicate today. Years past, we had done a newsletter, and we'd kind of done it once a week or once a month or once every 2 weeks. And we've stopped doing that. We've gone to this. We're going to blast out generally one topic per email that we send out to you guys, and we match it real closely in the subject line. So if we said something about Marketing Mondays, and you can go, I have no interest in marketing my business, which I hope that you wouldn't say that, but you might say, look, I already know about that or I already signed up, delete, right? If you see something about register now for the healthcare reform seminar, you might hang on to that one because you know you need to register at some point. If you saw something to do with Coventry or United Healthcare or something and it doesn't apply to you, or it's group business and you don't write group business, just delete the email then. So that's what we got feedback from the Agent Advisory Council saying, keep doing it the way you're doing it. Just be smart about how you set your subject line in your email so that we know to read it or not or delete it right away. And so that means we can get things out to you more timely, and you can more quickly filter it yourself as to whether you're interested or not. And if you delete it or you can't find it, you can always come to our portal under News and find what you're looking for. And as always, one of our staff can help you as well.
Everything she said. Yeah, it's a great resource to go back. Like Lynn said, if you delete something or you need to just catch up, maybe you've been on vacation and you really don't want to go through all your emails, but you want to see what's up with KHI, you can easily hop out here and look by date or by subject. So we try to make it very easy. We've also streamlined our calendar of events. Lynn just had us go through and color coordinate the different categories here to make it easy for you so that you can find the topic that is of interest. So if we're looking for a meeting coming up on marketing, well, look, there we are on the 20th, and that gives you the information that you need for that. If you're looking for something on health, there's the healthcare reform. So you can go through and filter what's of importance or what is a concern or need for you. So you can also, by clicking on all, you get to see everything that's going on the calendar. So it gives you a good overview of the amount of activity that goes on providing agent programming.
And maybe you can take a note there. We've got tomorrow is Storm Lake. It's a well-marked KHI spring training, 3 credit hours, right? So it's Storm Lake tomorrow. Then it's Fort Dodge, 2 sessions on Wednesday. And then the following week, we're in Des Moines, and then we're in Cedar Rapids. So you can just kind of see here if you thought, oh, darn, I can't make that meeting, or when were those meetings scheduled again? Just pop on out to the calendar and take a look.
Excellent. And then, of course, we've got our Contact Us. For some reason you forget the phone number or need to stop by the office and can't remember how to get here or to one of the 3 offices, we've got a Google map with directions, the phone numbers, and all of that great information. And one of the areas that we seem to be making a lot of changes in lately as we've been growing and specializing around the office here is our team. And so if you're ever wondering who you need to call, we've got it broken down now into the agent team. We've got our partner sales, our admin team, and we've just added a new gal who doesn't even have a photo yet, but we got her out there to make sure that you guys can get a hold of her if you need, and that's Jamie Campbell, who is our new concierge. And then we've got Brenda, Andy, and Lynn at the bottom there, showing that they're the foundation of everything, and giving the support that the team needs to get their jobs done. We also have a nice PDF copy of the staff directory too, so you can print it off, throw it in your binder. So if you're ever out on the road or working remotely, you've got that information as well. So we will update this as soon as we ever have changes. You'll also notice that we have direct phone number lines, and we also have the extensions listed. So feel free to use whichever method of calling in that you need. And when you click on the person's name, it will pop open Outlook or an email, and it'll allow you to go ahead and email. So we make it super easy for you to stay in touch with the staff here here at KHI. So those are the major overviews and enhancements that we've made so far.
Yeah, just one other comment. So you might wonder, Jamie is who, we don't have her photo yet. She just started today. And we're excited to move Julie, our current concierge, who's training Jamie now, is going to be moved onto the agent team. So she's going to be working with Lindsay, specializing in our individual department. So if you've talked to Julie before when you've called in and she's been kind of our concierge at the front desk there, you'll find Julie training and learning and moving on back to help support you all in the individual space. So we're really excited about that opportunity for Julie.
So we want to go back and find out from you guys. We'll open up the lines here. We'll have Lynn do her magic, if I can figure out how to do this here. I promise I will get better at this as we go along, but would love to have your feedback as to what kind of marketing information you would like to have access to, what kind of things you want added to the website. Are there forms? Are there different things that you haven't been able to find? So Lynn will go here and we'll get the lines opened up and we'll just gather some feedback here. And I would like to extend an invitation to anyone out there. If you would like to reach out to me directly, you can reach me at marketing@khisolutions.com and share your feedback. I know Lynn's very open to that and any of the agent team here as well. So if there are things that are not out there and you think of them later, maybe you're using the site, let us know, because really this KHI website is about KHI agents. It's about providing you with the resources and tools to fill your clients' needs, but also to help you grow your business, and that's what we're here for. So,
great, thanks, Darcy. And so I'm looking over to see if there's any questions, and I see Sherry's got a question and maybe more of a comment. And yes, you'd like some lunch. I hope you guys get lunch, and maybe the idea here is these are kind of like lunch and learns. So hopefully you brought your bag lunch, or you'll grab some lunch afterwards. But yeah, so give us feedback too on the timing. Besides Marketing Mondays, you're seeing that we're doing a lot of training on Mondays. We'll try to sometimes get 2 sessions in a day, one at 11 and then one right after lunch. So those will happen on the other days. Our third Monday of the month will be our Marketing Monday, and we're doing a lunch and learn over the noon hour. So we hope that this is working out for you, that we know that a lot of times Mondays are days where you're in the office and you maybe don't have a lot of appointments scheduled. You're trying to get your week shored up and whatnot, and getting everything just organized for the week. So that's why we're trying to do this, but give us your feedback there, feedback on the website. Darcy had mentioned her email address, marketing@KHI Solutions. We're trying to also help you with some additional ways to reach, for example, our service department. So hopefully you saw the announcement that went out about getting to our service team for both individual and group service issues. And that went out, and you can find that on the website. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to go out there real quick, and I'm going to go back to the KHI Solutions website, or KHI Agent Portal, rather. And let me just, oh, okay. So, so we sent it out. Actually, you know what? I'll go out into the news, because I know we just sent it out into the news. So we'll just go down, scroll down a little bit. Now, this is exactly what I would do if I was looking for it, and I'd say, okay, here's May Healthcare Reform webinar. Oh, and maybe it didn't get set on the website yet. Normally, Nicole gets that done for us when we send something out via email. Then it's out here.
Go to Teams, and if you click on the PDF, it's at the top.
There we go. So let's go to our team, and I'm going to go ahead and click the PDF of our staff directory. Let's assume we wanted to print one of these out. So just going to show you real quick. There we go. So you can see we're going to continue to add some information like this. So if you need to send individual service, it's KHI Service IND at KHISolutions.com, and then KHI Service Group at KHISolutions.com. I think we're looking to also do one commissions at KHISolutions.com, so any commission question you might have. And the reason that we're doing this really is from an efficiency standpoint, so we can have any staff in our office will be able to access that. If we tie you to one person, then if that person happens to be on vacation for the week or out sick or with a sick child, then we're always trying to figure out, oh, did we get everything covered? So this way we've got these emails going to all of our staff in the office so that whoever can get to it first, you'll get a response back right away saying, got it, and I'm working on it. In fact, Darcy's making the note now to make sure that we get that news flash that we did send out put on our news blog. But because the other thing that we had on that document, I think, was also the examples of when you would use the service emails or for group or for individual. So whether it's AORs, whether it's perhaps a client needs another ID card, there's some certain types of service that's going to be best for these type of email addresses. So yeah, so we're going to continue to look to streamline. So if you've got ideas on that, we're certainly, as I said, open to hear anything you've got. So other than, let me go back and see if there was any other questions besides Sherry's comment. And Sherry says, applause, applause on the training all in one place. Thank you, Sherry. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, is help make you guys more efficient. We know you do a lot. A lot is on your plate every day. So if we can streamline things for you, that's our goal.
So does anybody have any feedback on things they would like to see on the site that aren't on there now? I know the campaigns was one. We had several people inquiring over the last few months on providing that information. So we responded and got it out there. So if there's other things, let us know.
Okay, I'm not seeing, also you can raise your hand or you can type in a question, and I'm not seeing anything else, and I'll give you just another few seconds here to type something up, see if anybody has any other questions. And while we're waiting, I just want to say thanks to Darcy. Again, it's marketing@khisolutions.com to get a hold of Darcy. Some other things Darcy has helped us with, and maybe this will come up in some future conversations, would be press releases to help you get, if you get an award for something, you've been recognized, she'll write those up for you, and she'll help get those to the local newspapers. We're just here to try to help in whatever way we can get your message out that you're the expert in health insurance in your community. And sometimes it might be, I know we worked with one of the agents on a payroll stuffer around their open enrollment, and that employer group would still, from time to time do a paper envelope. So, and I think you're on the call, so thank you to that agent that helped. I mean, those kinds of things. So we love to be able to help that way and help you help your customers. Okay.
All right, well, thank you for bearing with me with this horrible sinus infection. I know I don't sound the best, but I appreciate you guys coming today, and I look forward to talking to you all on the third Monday of next month when we take a look at your website and provide you with some information and tools to help your site be the most effective that it can be, and then also talk a little bit about our Website Solutions program as well.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great Monday. Bye-bye.